Hi everyone, I am Melis Arğalı from Architecture Department. Today I will do an experiment for my Physics 101 class, which is about conservation of energy between potential and kinetic energy. First, to explain my experiment better, I will introduce my setup and materials that I used. My setup basically consists by an air table and its accessories, a 30 cm ruler, and a scientific calculator. After placing the wooden block under the table so as to make a slope, I am calculating the maximum highness that the air table has with the 30 cm ruler. And after that, I am doing some practice movements with the block to completely understand the system. To do that, as it can be seen, at the first sight I am just pressing one pedal to not really activate the table, but to make some exercises on it. And then, as starting the experiment, again, I'm placing one of the plug on top of the table, which is the maximum point of the highness, and then activating the pedals as pressing them together. With that progress, plug makes a movement on the table, and that movement gives me the velocity data that I will use for my project. With the velocity values that I took from the air table, I calculated the changing highness by the changing time and field table 1. And after that, just like at the table 1, I did the same progress with the changing velocity by the changing time and field table 2. After filling tables with the information that I achieved, I'm doing my potential energy, kinetic energy and mechanical energy graphs so as to exactly see the conservation of energy and show the unchanging situation at mechanical energy. As it's seen from the first graph, which is about changing potential energy by the movement that the plug had, as the time continues, potential energy is decreasing and finally approaching to zero at the end of the movement. But in the second graph that shows changing kinetic energy, by the time continues, kinetic energy is increasing because of the growing velocity values. And at the last graph, it can be seen that mechanical energy that the mass had was constant for the whole time under name of energy conservation. But because of the friction force between the air table and the plug, there is a margin of error which can be seen from the graph as not being totally constant. To sum up, as it is understood by the experiment, potential and kinetic energy values that a mass has can be changed by the situation, but the mechanical energy is always remaining if there is nothing extra like friction force.